Hello folks, this is Kosala, also known as Marventus, showing you a 1v1 game that I played with a good World of Warcraft buddy of mine called Bolvi. And this is an interesting map. I have no idea what this map is, I've never seen it before. But there are bases all over the place, or base points and minerals all over the place. And Bolvi started over here as the Grey Terran at the bottom. Let's see, Ruslos is his nick in Starcraft, and I'm up here as the blue Zerg. Now the reason I wanted to show this game is because Ruslos has a fascinating strategy that he pulled off here to completely decimate my base. And since this is a 40-minute game and we only have 15 minutes on my YouTube cast, I'm going to speed this puppy up a little bit. To say 8 times speed, to show you the fun and games that came with this. Now, initially everything started out as per normal. We've got Ruslo scouting a bit over here, we've got me scouting a bit over here. My base building is going pretty much as you'd expect. Okay, let's stop this for a little bit and take a look at what we've got. I have my gas up as usual, I have my spawning pool up, and I'm droning away, doing a little bit of scouting to find out where he is, which I have just now discovered. And I am going to do this as a macro game in a normal sense, because there's lots of space between the two bases, lots of time to get there, so no particular hurry. So I thought, excellent, I'll hunker down and just build. So here I go, building away. Got some overload scouting around the place. I've got my Zergling running all over the place. And this strategy that I'm about to show you is, I'm just going to call it Mass Ravens. And despite having seen a bazillion Starcraft videos on YouTube, I have never seen anybody push out with Mass Ravens. And had I done some thinking on this issue, I'm fairly sure that I would have figured out that it's easy enough to counter with basically a good air army. However, the entire thing completely surprised me, and I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't have an air army to begin with. So here I am spreading creep with my queens, droning away. See, the droning is actually going reasonably badly. Don't have a lot going on here. Building buildings instead. So Roachborn Evolution Chamber coming out. Second gas just about to come out. Let's see what Ruslos is up to. So here we go. Barracks out here. Factory out. Engineering bay, nothing too dramatic, everything looks normal so far. And let's take a look at this build situation over time. And we have a starport coming up. Well, this is where the fun begins. And we have a second starport coming up. So far everything looking reasonably normal. Just one barracks, not a whole lot of marines going on. We've got a reactor there and a reactor there. Both gases mining. Okay, let's slow this down for a little bit and take a look. I've just done my first expanse, and that's been scouted by the factory. But again, here still everything is pretty normal for me. I'm not in any kind of major danger. I've got drones coming out. My harvesting is going well. 800 minerals and gas. Well ahead of things as I should be. Now in come the Reapers. These guys are a bit of a nuisance, but they were dealt with fairly quickly using my roaches. And up until this point everything was fairly normal game, although my drones did get nuked a little bit here before I was able to do something about it. But the Reapers weren't a major problem. So while this is going on, Ruslos has gone into his second base, and we've got 1, 2 starports up, and I believe there's more on the way. And at this point I still don't have much of an army. Right, as indeed is normal. Right, yes, generally Zerg don't build massive armies in the beginning. You're fairly reactive in your gameplay. So it's scout and react, scout and react. Second gas has gone up. Take a look at my drone card. See, I'm lagging behind on the droning here, as you can see, and this has always been a bit of a weakness of mine. Tend to find that the droning just gets forgotten, although I did improve at this in later games. But for the time being, I'm still quite far behind in the drone count, so my minerals are lagging behind, which is not a good thing. And here we've got a bunker going up here for Ruslos. He's got his sensor tower up. Now then, let's speed this up again some more and see what happens. Okay, now the missile towers are going up, because the logical response on my end here would be to scout around with some flying units, which are on the way shortly. See here, I'm still suffering from a lack of drones here. It's been quite a while since I plopped that base up, and I still don't have a good drone count happening at all. Now my main base is looking reasonably towards saturation, but still got a good line to go there. Spires up. And let's see if I've teched up a little. I've not. Yes, I've done some upgrades. That's excellent. Right, and then let's see what happens now. If we go back to Ruslow's base, you see he's this defensive unit right here caused me all kinds of problems later on in the game when I was pushing forward. And this is good to take a little time to look at, because we've got 3 bunkers all manned, we've got 1 turret, and we've got 3 sieged tanks. This was impossible to break for me when I made the push. It's just an excellent wall-off. Very, very good against Zerg, because these 3 will do enormous amounts of damage. Right, and if we look over here, we've got a first flying unit starting to show up, and an upgrade on the main base happening, on the secondary base happening there as well. And let's see, we're still on 2 starports. Now, in order to show the fun and games that now occur, see, I've got my first Mutalisks coming out, and I'll be going round the base over here with those, but not to any great effect. So I'm going to speed on ahead now to a much greater point in the game, where I'll show you this incredibly funny tactic with ravens. So he made a quick little push there that everything disappeared on. Nothing's changed here in the front. My Mutalist doing a little run around the back here, getting annihilated by turrets. And my second expansion now starting to be properly defended. And here we go. We've got Vikings coming in first. These guys I do manage to push off reasonably well. And my army is now starting to make itself apparent. I've got enough roaches to handle the base defense on here. I've got my static defenses sorted here. Vikings causing a little bit of havoc. But I've got my Spore Crawler to deal with that. So far, aside from my drone count being far less than normal and my overlords disappearing on me here, as you can see on the top right, I've got enough juice going to actually manage reasonably well. So these guys proved to be a little bit of a problem, but were handleable, and the real problems only started to happen once the ravens started popping out. So let's fast forward again, see if we can see some ravens building. Here we are. Now get a load of this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ravens coming out there. We've got 4 ravens coming out there. And they're all going to be headed towards my base in just a little bit. Let's speed this up to 8 times, wait for the ravens to attack. Now here we've got our Vikings standing put. The Raven army is now starting to show itself. So you have another 4 being built there. We have another 2 being built there. And the previous reactors have been swapped out for tech labs. And a completely saturated second base. So his mineral situation is doing great. In the meantime, I'm making a sneak attack over here. And here we go. Turrets, I tell you. Okay, let me stop this a little bit. See what happened here? Ravens drop turrets. We know this. Nothing particularly amazing about that. Right, but what I didn't realize is how incredibly effective they are in large numbers. So my Nidus Worm got immediately taken out, and that was the end of that. But take a look at what happens when the ravens start arriving at my main base. I'm just going to speed up now so you can see the attack when it happens. And they should be heading our way in just a moment. Look at this army of ravens. Oh my goodness, the insanity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 ravens. 10 ravens! I've never even seen anybody build 10 ravens in one game before. And here they come. Get a look at this. 10 ravens going down the left hand side, heading towards my base. Little do I suspect this is going to happen, and look at this. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 turrets making a complete mess out of my base. Queen about to go down here. And even more turrets landing. And now we've got almost 16 turrets. Look at this. It is abysmal. All of my buildings are going down. My queen is dying. My drones are doing nothing. Now I'm sitting here thinking, oh dear God, if only I had flying units. Where are my flying units? Right, and I am actually producing no flying units. Right, and this is me panicking. Right, and not realizing that I have all the minerals in the world to counter this. Right, instead I was completely amazed by this and just sat and watched myself get killed. Producing zerglings for God knows what reason. So here we are, even more auto turrets going down now. We've got almost 2 rows worth of turrets completely destroying my base. I mean, is this not the craziest tactic you've ever seen? Now, had I had my wits about me and actually built some flying units to counter these ravens, all would have been fine. Instead, I was so tickled by this, I just sat around and watched it. And now the ravens are heading down to my second expansion. And the madness repeats itself. There's another turret going down there. There's another one going down there. A third one going down there, and that's the end of my my spore crawler pretty soon. My roaches are actually doing a reasonable job up until this point. But the main base, as you can see, is totally annihilated, and there's absolutely no recovering from that. So at this point, pretty much game is over, really. Right, and I was just sitting and discussing with Ruslos about this very peculiar tactic. And as I said, it's very easy to counter. All you really need is to have some flying units, and had I thought this through, I would have done this very easily. Right, but as it is right now, here we are, completely dead, death by Raven. And I'm fairly sure this is a unique thing on YouTube. I've never seen anybody try this tactic before. So I hope you enjoyed this carnage, and I will leave you with this while I go and prepare my next video, which is actually a rather nice fight, a very long drawn-out fight. That was play done right, actually, for a change. So thanks for watching all. I hope you enjoyed this crazy tactic. Pass it on to your friends to have a good laugh about. And if anybody else has got crazy tactics they'd like to tell me about, post in the comments and let me know. And if you've got videos, link to them, because I'd love to see them. Thank you for watching. Bye bye all.